Well, guys, we're about as devoid as Hollywood on ideas, so let's talk shit about some movies that everyone else loves but we hate. Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, where we discuss pop culture on 6th grade reading level. Hello and welcome to World Class Bullshitters. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me are the two guys of Two Guys That Grow in a Pizza Place, Dion Green.
Yo, baby, man with the plan, the original tan, and yes, 2 girls, 1 cup is retarded.
Dan Kane?
Since Dustin's not here, I'm going to play the part of him for 30 seconds. Blah, 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 hemorrhoids, blah, 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 staring at dicks, blah, 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 Trump 2016, blah, 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 women are cunts.
That is amazing. It's like Dustin's here.
Oh my god, it's like, Dustin? Papa?
I swear I saw him just now. I heard him talk.
I can't stop looking at these dicks.
Well, guys, it's been a pretty light week for pop culture news until today. The Rogue One trailer dropped this morning. Guys, have you seen it, and what were your thoughts?
Yes, I did. And surprisingly so, I was actually, I liked it. I really did like it. I'm interested to see, I've always been interested to see, what, how the rebellion fought without the Jedi, essentially, because a lot of people forget the rebellion was in the war before Luke, Han, and Leia, or before Luke and Han showed up, so for them to be in a war with the Galactic Empire for so long and to see how they got the plans, it's kind of a played out story at this point. They actually got me interested to see what's up, to see a degenerate character be tasked with getting the plans. I like it. I'm actually kind of interested.
Dan?
It looked alright.
Yeah, I was in that. There were things that I thought were awesome. Like, the Star Destroyer looked just like the Star Destroyer from the first movie. I mean, obviously, it's not the same model, but the CGI looks like the model work from the movie. It's not trying to make it look realistic. And then it was cool to see Stormtroopers back in action, like real Stormtroopers. My biggest problem was it was dumb, but like, remember how in episode 7, the Stormtroopers got shot and they would like fly around in the air like ragdolls? Why is that back for this movie? I thought it looked kind of eh. But did you think this was a better trailer than the episode 7 teaser trailer?
I do not think so. I think the episode 7 one had a lot of hype behind it. We were, obviously it's the first true movie since episode 3, but and it what the hype trailer was actually pretty good, but I think this one is definitely close in comparison.
Dan?
I don't remember the hype trailer at all.
Cool, it was bullshit. I was excited that this was an actual full trailer and not just like 8 seconds of a bantha taking a shit on a wampa or something stupid like that. It was an actual movie trailer. It looks, cinematically, it looks cool. It's a little jarring to see all the shit from the first Star Wars movie come back. I don't know. It's like no movie's really done that to that degree. And it's almost uncomfortable to watch. I'm just like, wait, this isn't the original Star Wars? Like, half the people from that movie are dead. Why are we back here? I don't know. It's interesting to see to see more Star Wars events around the first movie, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea. I hope, if this is, it'll be successful because it's got the fucking word Star Wars on it. I hope they don't try to do this with Empire Strikes Back. Like, what were the rebels doing between Empire and Jedi? Like, no, don't do this shit.
Right. No, I can see that. I mean, I definitely can get how this time period can get very, can be very tiring at this point. We've seen them, from the beginning of the Empire that we know to the end of, at this point, to the end of The Force Awakens. It's like, they're beating this time period over the head. So I can see why it's like, we don't need another fucking movie in between them. Just go on, just move on.
I will bring up the normal thing that we always talk about on World Class Bullshitters. This definitely felt like a Causey movie again. Because in your trailer, you had your white lady lead, you had your Hispanic guy sidekick, you had your Forrest Whitaker, your random Asian dude. It's just like, oh, we hit every fucking box. Like, we pretty much hit everybody, so everyone's represented in the trailer. That's Star Wars. Ugh.
Would it have made you feel better if Forrest Whitaker was not represented in the trailer?
Yeah, because his eye makes me uncomfortable. That's what this is all about, is his fucking eye. Forrest Whitaker is just... You're creepy, dude. I'm sorry. If you ever hear this show, fuck you. You make me uncomfortable.
Fuck you.
Well, if that's what you're hinging the movie on, you are not going to be very delighted when you finally see it.
Oh, I wasn't going to be delighted no matter what. Well, my problem is we know how this movie ends. There is no way that there's a twist ending or a surprise, because we all know that the plans get onto the fucking space cruiser, or Princess Leia's Tantive 4, and then the events of Star Wars happens. It's not like there's a surprise anymore. It's like, hey, you ever wondered what happened 5 minutes before the first Star Wars? This is it. Stretched out to 2 hours. And you're like, oh, okay. Well,
Right.
I know the end. Thanks, guys. And I wasn't like excited to see Mon Mothma. Like, she's a flash in the pan character. Does anyone genuinely care about Mon Mothma?
No.
So let's see. There's some other unique scenes. We had the Emperor's Royal Guards, which was cool. Now, is Darth Vader supposed to be in this movie? Is that the rumor?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a huge part of the movie. I don't know. On the deep internet rumors that James Earl Jones is doing the voice again, but yeah, it's supposed to be like, full on, partially about Vader going around fucking shit up. So it's gonna, hopefully, if that's the case, it's gonna have a lot of Sith Lord Darth Vader in it.
See, now that's the only Star Wars character that I'd be genuinely excited to see more adventures of in between the movies. Because Darth Vader, we don't even know what he could have been doing in between the scenes of the first Star Wars movie. Like,
Right.
He's either fucking around with Princess Leia or he's in talking to Grand Moff Tarkin. But, like, who knows? Maybe he was off doing some shit on the Death Star that was cool that we've never seen. So, I guess in a roundabout way, I'm excited for more Darth Vader. I don't think they can give me too much Darth Vader.
No, they're not. Yeah, I mean, the dude's one of the most well-known villains in pop culture history. I think, especially, and you got a taste of it in Star Wars and Empire, but obviously those movies were centered around the good guys. I would love to see a movie where it's a part of it is it's like, okay, well, this is another reason why this dude was so feared across the galaxy, because the dude was a fucking crazy psychopath with magical powers. So I hope that that's the direction that they're going to go in with Rogue Squadron.
And another thing about Darth Vader, it's a dude in a suit. He'll look the same forever. It's just a fucking
Right.
costume.
Right.
And like, there's no reason that you can't just keep doing it. That's why I'm okay with it, because he'll always look the same. It's not like Harrison Ford, who progressively gets older and looks shittier in all of his movies. It's like Indiana Jones is on a walker in the next movie. Darth Vader is just a dude in a suit, and that suit will always look cool. So he's timeless.
Yeah.
No other character's time. I mean, Chewbacca. Yeah, but a movie about Chewbacca and Darth Vader would be boring as fuck.
Yeah.
I
Just
mean,
growling and lightsaber cutting that shit up.
growling and breathing for 2 hours, and a million people would go see it the first night.
Oh yeah.
So, are you excited for the prospect of more Star Wars stories, meaning Star Wars films outside of the episodes 1 through 9?
Yes and no. I mean, as far as movies, you can't help but feel as if you're owed better ones, because obviously, the original trilogy is so great, and then they had an opportunity, and I guess with that, for lack of a better phrase, the prequels got George Lucas. Episode 3 is turning the shit salad into
Chicken shit into chicken salad.
Thank you. Yeah, chicken shit in the chicken salad. But other than that, the episode 1 and 2 are not very good, and especially with episode 7, you fucked up and got the guy from Lost who can't explain half the shit that he puts on paper. So I can't help but feel like I'm waiting for that payoff that I got when I watched the original trilogy, and Disney's tapping into that, very, very well, of that whole, okay, well, we'll try again, but on the flip side of that coin, I'm just like, God, I don't. They keep fucking this up. Maybe we should just maybe I'd be okay if they just backed up off the property for a while, maybe do a couple more movies and then just sell the merchandise. Just don't make any more fucking movies, because sometimes you guys are fucking them up.
Yeah, like I've argued for the last World Class Bullshitters has been on since October. Ever since October, I've always bitched. The story of Star Wars is over. Stop making movies. All you're
Right.
doing is kicking a dead corpse. I'm with you about the merchandise. I thought it would have been cool if Disney would have acquired Star Wars, opened up Star Wars theme parks, and done other things, and maybe just re-released films and kept
Right.
the goodwill of the franchise. And I understand that Episode 7 made like $2 quadrillion, and the internet blows J.J. Abrams, but there's a small splinter cell group of people that hate that fucking movie, and I'm one of them. And I mean, that's our most popular video.
I wouldn't even say it's small. I think it's where there's that original Star Wars coma, right? Where it first comes out and people are like, oh my god, it's so great. It's just, and now we have a strong female character, and Finn was just so compelling, and then people are slowly coming around to the fact like, she was really fucking powerful, and wow, the guy who's supposed to be the great villain is very fucking annoying, and there are a lot of fucking holes in this plot. I mean, there's one guy that I work with, Marty, who is fucking convinced it's a great movie, and I'm like, it's like a mental condition where you watch Star Wars and it's just like, oh my god, I can't process my own brain right now. It's like, no, people are fucking flipping, man. They're starting to see like, it's not that great. It's the fucking dude from Lost, people.
Well, I mean, there's a phrase for it. It's called phantom menacing. It's where I always call it the romance period, because you're so engrossed with this new thing that it's perfect, and then after a while the novelty wears off and you're like, oh, like Dustin. For the listeners that never heard this, back in college when we first met Dustin was the biggest prequel supporter, swore they were the greatest things ever, blah blah blah. And then years later he messaged Dion and I and was like, I'm sorry, the prequels weren't as great as I thought. I would just like to apologize to you guys.
Yeah.
I'm almost counting down the days until he apologizes, which I don't think he owes us an apology, but I'm waiting for a similar situation to what happened with his prequel apologist mentality, because Episode 7 is the worst Star Wars movie. At least, goddammit, Episodes 1 through 3 didn't fuck up the original movies and change motivations of those characters. I mean, yeah, the only person that's a little weaker out of that after that trilogy is Darth Vader, but Obi-Wan Kenobi's actually a better character.
Oh yeah.
I like Ewan McGregor more than I like Alec Guinness Obi-Wan Kenobi, because he does shit. No. I mean, if they were going to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie between Episodes 3 and 4 with Ewan McGregor, I'm there all day, every day. That'll be the one that gets me excited. And I don't even like the prequels that much. The prequels did do some shit right, but the Episode 7 just made me hate Star Wars. Like, I went to the store the other day, and they had the new wave of figures out at Kroger, which is a weird place to buy them. I looked through them and I thought to myself, I can't even bring myself to get any of these. Like, just no. And then the Blu-ray was there, and I was like, fuck this movie. I mean, it is weird to be me right now, because something I was so into, and something that our friendship, Dion, is built on,
right,
is dead to me.
Well, and I know a lot of people out there are going to jump on this automatic defense of Disney and this really weird loyalty to J.J. Abrams that he's never earned. But again, I watched the honest trailer for Episode 7 finally, and and they said the same shit that we said, even though after we said it, the fact that people, oh, it's so great, it looks so great, and it's like, but did you watch the movie? I mean, my whole issue is just the story is so bad and so poorly thought through. And they even copied what I said, when I finally got talking about Star Wars before they dropped the honest trailer, it's the dude from Lost, and there's so many fucking holes that he leaves. He can't answer his own questions. So even when honest trailer guys are seeing it, people are gonna fucking see this movie, and it's just like it's just them trying to rip money out of your mouth and put it in their pocket. It's the same thing with me. It just is so frustrating. I don't have if you're gonna make a Star Wars movie, make a Star Wars movie. Don't try and that's what the problem was, that he's trying to add on this bullshit. Oh well, we're gonna have a different story, but at the same time, we're literally gonna almost copy Episode 4 the original Star Wars film, shot for fucking shot, character for character. And it's like, oh my god, fucking fuck you, J.J. Abrams. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you.
Would you like? I pulled up an article because the day I saw Episode 7, which was the day Star Wars died, I went, "This is essentially A New Hope, but poorly done." And then when we saw Dustin in December, and he's like, "It does everything better," I was like 6 steps away from like looking at him, grabbing him by the shoulders, and screaming, "What the fuck are you thinking? Like, what is your problem?" But I'm gonna list off a few. I found this article that says how The Force Awakens is a remake of A New Hope. Would you like me to read it?
Yeah, go. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm going to skip the intro because it came out right around the time of the film, and we already know the film came out. So, it says, the first header is introducing a core trio. A New Hope introduces audience to the three heroes who are nearly four decades later still household names: Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Han Solo. They became the core of the initial Star Wars saga and the driving force behind the franchise. The Force Awakens introduces us to three new household names. And I'm going to use quotations for household names: Poe Dameron, FN2187, aka Finn, and Rey, this generation's trio of heroes. Based on what we've seen in the films, they are Luke, Leia, and Han for this generation. It's just that no one can figure out which one is which. And then here we go. Rey walking in the Jakku desert with BB-8. Anyone else find the scene of Rey walking in Jakku, or on Jakku with BB-8 by her side a little too similar? Maybe it's because you've already seen it before. After purchasing C-3PO and R2-D2 on the Tatooine outpost, Luke Skywalker walks into the Tatooine desert with R2-D2 and C-3PO in A New Hope, just the same way. Kylo Ren. We're starting to see the obvious here. Kylo Ren is clearly a reincarnated Darth Vader, right? An evil, looming, masked black figure who reports to a gigantic, withered monstrosity of evil. That description can work for both Kylo Ren, even though it's meant to be Kylo Ren, and Granddaddy Darth Vader. We even hear similar origin stories about the two, as characters tell us that both Darth Vader and Kylo Ren betrayed their masters and destroyed other Jedi Knights. But where Darth Vader was a dispassionate creep who mastered his emotions, Kylo Ren is still a slave to them, and can't help but flip out on the computer console with his lightsaber when things don't go his way. The droids hold the clue to everything. Thanks to R2-D2's secret message from Leia to Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke, the farm boy, whose future as a Jedi would save the rebellion and the galaxy, is led to his Jedi mentor. R2 holds the secret key that's needed basically to save everything in A New Hope. In Force Awakens, Poe Dameron trusts his droid BB-8 with the final pieces of the map that would lead the Resistance to Luke Skywalker. BB-8 holds the clue to the Resistance for them to save the galaxy. Even as ever, the droids are the real heroes here. Jakku and Tatooine, I don't even need to read that one. They're both fucking sand planets. Mm-hmm. Starkiller Base is the Death Star. And then finally it says Poe Dameron's flying scene. Poe Dameron solidifies his position as the main hero in The Force Awakens. No, he's not the main hero in The Force Awakens. He's a side character. He's the only one I decently liked. Finn was whatever. It's funny. They make him out to be always going to be this great hero and this great change for diversity, and he's a fucking janitor. Talk about a slap in the face. Dan, you haven't spoken because, you aren't as passionate about Star Wars. Plus, you're still playing Dustin. Do you have anything to add?
Nope.
Cool. Dion, are you this new lady character? What was her name? Like Jen? Fuck, I don't give a shit what her name was. It wasn't that interesting. Do you think she'll be like Rey and be too perfect, or do you think she'll be an angstier version of Rey?
To be honest, I think that she's going to be. They're going to try and make her into the female Han Solo. I think they're going to, because Poe Dameron wasn't in Episode 7 that much, so I think that they're going to try to make her the young Han Solo. Like, this is what Han Solo would have been like, if we'd have made, because we're going to make one about him, and here's fucking young Han Solo right here. Difference is he's got a vagina and titties, and it's because they don't use the word degenerate, but a fucking, you're difficult to control, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, well, I'm a rebel. This is a rebellion, isn't it? And I'm just like, that is fucking Han Solo, you fucking copycat motherfuckers.
And the thing is, Han Solo is just like on another planet at this time. Like, this is a few weeks before we first see him.
Yeah.
I don't really care. Like I always say about the Marvel movies. Marvel movies delegate male and female character roles perfectly. They all make sense. It's not like all of a sudden the Black Widow is so important over Iron Man. She has her moments. She does things he can't do. He does things she can't do. with Star Wars, it's like we have to make up for Luke Skywalker being cool and make up for Han Solo being cool. And this girl just looks so angsty and, oh, you've been alone since you were 15 years old. Like, okay, you're Rey. You're essentially fucking Rey. All we're getting is the fucking remake of The Force Awakens, but during the Rebellion's war against the Empire. So, whoop-de-shit. Like, it's hard. The more I look into this, and I'm not even reading between the lines, the more I just watch this trailer, it's hard to get excited. I mean, I'm already down. They've already pissed on me. What can they do? Shit on me?
Well, ask and you shall receive. I mean, it like I said, I get the angsty part for sure, and I, going, as far as the excitement level, I love stories where they get into like, okay, this is how the normal people fare, and that's why I'm excited. It's the rebellion without the Jedi against the fucking Empire. As far as this is how they got the plans. And again, but again, my issue being, it's this fucking supposed to be the badass character, and clearly Star Wars, Disney right now doesn't know how to make the main character not all powerful. So we'll see, if it's the type of person that gets the shit kicked out of them and isn't perfect, then I'll like it. But I guess cautious optimism is the best way to describe how I'm feeling about Rogue Squadron.
The only thing they can really do, see, because my favorite part of Star Wars isn't the Jedi. It's always been the Empire and the Rebellion. That's the shit I like about Star Wars. It's the shit battles. It's the actual wars. I mean, Luke Skywalker's journey is, central to the plot, but I don't watch the first 3 Star Wars movies and go, oh, I can't wait to see how Luke evolves. I'm just more like, I want to see how the Empire's fucking up the galaxy and what they're going to do to stop them. And this should be the movie that makes me excited for it because it's what it is. But I don't know. There's 2 things they could do in this movie to make me really like it because I like the premise. One, make it more about Darth Vader than we realize. That would be a sweet twist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think this girl's going to be the lead? No, it's really about Darth Vader fucking shit up. And we wanted to surprise you in theaters. I'd be surprised. I'd be happy. And 2, she's got to die. She has no fucking purpose to exist. She has to die because what is she going to do? Are they going to CGI her into the Battle of Yavin on the next Blu-ray release? I'd shit my pants. I would fucking throw that shit at everyone I see. I would scream in the streets, did you see what they did to this shit? Did you see? I mean, that'd be more offensive than Greedo shooting first. Those are the 2 things that can salvage this movie for me. I want to be entertained. I want to like Star Wars again. But Disney, you fucked it up really bad once, and you managed to trick everybody into thinking how great it is. So let's, I almost want to stand by the sidelines and watch them do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I love Star Wars. I really hope that they don't. But I think that they need, they tried to make Han Solo the tragic character in 7, and it fucking fell flat. I would love to see the hero, because we really haven't seen that in Star Wars. I would love to see the hero die. I would love to see essentially Die Hard in space. Only this time, Jojana McClain doesn't make it to the goddamn window. I want to see this, a character that is flawed, badass. Hey, go get these fucking Death Star plans, and they fucking die trying. I think that would be phenomenal. That'd be amazing. And obviously, that's with a little bit of salt sprinkled on top, as long as they fucking do it right and don't try to make it, episode 7.5.
It's just this whole, changing tide in Hollywood that Disney's trying to force. But I don't get why they don't do it with the Marvel movies. I'm glad they don't do it with the Marvel movies, but why Star Wars? Why does Star Wars have to be the fucking, causey film? Why can't it be something else? Why can't they just make a new franchise with some woman in the lead,
Mm-hmm.
I just wish Star Wars was done. It ended fine in 1983. Hell, if they never made the prequels, I would have still been a Star Wars fan because it's not what got me into liking Star Wars. It was the special editions. It was actually the pre-special edition re-release, so whatever. I've said my piece. I hope the listeners tell us what they think about the trailer. I'm sure most are going to love it, and that's fine. That's the one thing on the show. If you like something that I don't, I'm not going to shit on you. I'm just going to shit on what I don't like. So let us know in the comments below how you felt about this Rogue One trailer, and what you would like to see in the film, what you think you'll see in the film, and how you feel about Star Wars after the clusterfuck that was Episode 7.
And do it without going into some goddamn tangent about, oh, well, this is what no, watch the movie, talk about the movie, tell us the movie.
Because at the end of the day, we want to always be factually accurate.
Exactly.
Well, that wasn't even the main feature of tonight's show. We have a great pop culture debate, which is really rough to do when everyone backed out at the last minute. So, I guess I will fight in this week's debate. Dan, will have you just throw out an answer or some shit, and we'll let the listeners decide. So, this week's great pop culture debate is, what is the best superhero casting? Now, we made sure to differentiate hero from villain, so you're not going to be able to list off, oh, Jack Nicholson is the Joker or something like that. It's strictly heroes, because in a later show, we will debate who's the best villain casting. So, Dion, as always, you shall go first, sir.
Well, thank you very much. For my choice, I went with Wesley Snipes as Blade. I think, obviously, in the last few years, people are getting really high on Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and Paul Rudd, as they should. But, like I said, I love going to the films that paved the way, and especially from when the source material, literally right prior to the movie, was kind of shitty, and Blade being a badass vampire hunter, it's very hard to tap a person who portrays that badassness, who you believe could do this in real life, since it is live action. And I think Wesley Snipes did the best job of portraying a badass fucking vampire hunter who is damn near unstoppable. And I think for me personally, Blade has always been the other Wolverine character, the guy that doesn't really talk about his emotions, the guy who will fucking kill people. He's the C-list Wolverine, and it's very difficult to cast that character. And Wesley Snipes was an action star, especially in the 90s. He built a name. He's one of the best names as far as action movies. The guy's already a martial artist, and him and and I can't remember it was a Steven S. Square. I can't remember the director for the first Blade movie.
I'll look it up. Dan, fact check that, please.
Thank you, sir. But
on it.
The director got it. Wesley Snipes fucking got it. And he like I said in the previous episode when I talked about Blade, when the dude is on the ground and the camera pans up and it's just that full body look of Blade and you get to his face, Wesley Snipes is Blade. And especially now, people can be replaced. You see the Hulk being replaced. I don't think anyone could be Blade. I mean, they had a shitty little TV movie that was supposed to become a TV show, and the dude didn't measure up so much that they canceled that shit. They made a little movie, and it was over. Wesley Snipes is the epitome of a hero portrayal, and I absolutely think he's the best.
Did you want the first movie director?
Yeah.
Stephen Norrington.
Stephen Norrington, got it.
What else did he direct, Dan?
I shall check.
Because that's not the guy that directed Nightmare on Elm Street 5, is it?
No.
Okay.
He did not do much.
Okay. Well, for what he did on the first Blade film, he did an excellent job.
He directed Death Machine, Blade, Last Minute, and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, ew. He went out on a bad note.
Hell of a drop.
Dan, did you have a casting choice?
I did, but I never have an argument.
Well, just present it anyway. I mean, just talk about it for a minute.
I was gonna say Thomas Jane as Punisher.
Ooh, now, you've seen the other Punishers, right?
I've seen Dolph Lundgren. And the terrible Warzone movie.
Okay, so out of those three, why do you like Thomas Jane more?
He felt more believable. Like, when his family died, you could see in his face how pissed off he was and how ready he was to fucking get revenge for everybody.
See, I watched that movie the other day, Dan, and ever since it came out, I've always praised the original Punisher. There's never been a time where I go, oh, that Punisher's not as good, or I like, what's his name, John Bernthal more. John Bernthal is cool, but like you said, Tom Jane showed emotion. You don't have to have this, like, PTSD, shock, stone-faced acting. That's kind of a trait nowadays that I don't like. And I think Dustin said it best a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the Civil War trailer. When Iron Man is about to be shot in the face by Bucky, he actually emotes. Tom Jane actually emotes. I mean, I love that fucking Punisher movie. I think that's one of the best superhero movies, best comic book movies from Marvel. And I know it's not a Marvel Cinematic Universe film, but an actual film based on a Marvel character.
I'd agree with that. Especially like, I mean, not only that, but when, fuck, I'm trying to, and I love that movie so much. After when the Russian attacks him, and he's been fucking beat to shit. And he finally gets him off him. He's about to charge him to throw him down the stairs. That look of that pure rage face, and he's he's fucked up. He's getting stabbed, and just that, even as he's broken, that look of rage on his face before he throws Kevin Nash's ass over the side. I'm just like, God damn, Tom Jane, you are the Punisher. Holy shit.
And that movie isn't that dark for a movie about a man whose entire family in this movie, because remember they were at that retreat.
It's pretty dark.
It's a dark subject matter, but I mean, there's a lot of humor, and there's almost like a note of hope at the end. I really wanted to see where his Punisher went next, more so than any other character that didn't get another film. I mean, I would have liked to know what happened after Spider-Man 3. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen like a day in the life of fucking Christian Bale Batman or something like that. But no, the Punisher just, there were so many opportunities in what places he could go. It would have been cool to see that Punisher go to New York and fight the Kingpin,
No, for sure. And I kind of like, especially, talking about it now, I feel like it was a victim of how good it was. Obviously, it kind of got railroaded as this movie that wasn't as successful. But I think, at that time, the only other movies that were fucking Fantastic Four, Daredevil, Elektra, and I think, subconsciously, because it's not 20th Century Fox that did Punisher.
I think it's Lionsgate.
Okay. But I think, subconsciously it's like this Tom Jane Punisher would eat the shit out of fucking Ben Affleck Daredevil and What's Her Nuts Elektra and Jessica Alba and Chris Evans and those motherfuckers. Like, he is, he was clearly the best character, and I think that had the rest of the comic verse, been better, I think we would have gotten the Punisher 2. I think we would have gotten sequels. We would have gotten something more than the Dirty Laundry film that Adi Shakur did, which was still really good. But I think had everything else been better, we could have had a Punisher franchise with Tom Jane shooting his way up to the top.
I think the only person I liked more during the original Marvel movie run is still Spider-Man, but Thomas Jane was excellent. Now, for my choice, I did not choose Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, even though I'm the first to defend him on the show. I chose Chris Evans as Captain America.
Ooh.
Well, first off, Chris Evans was an actor I was aware of prior to Captain America, even prior to Fantastic Four. I had seen Not Another Teen Movie, and I think he's in The Big Score. He was just some douchey actor. I didn't give a shit about him. But then he played Captain America in that first movie, and I went, wow, this guy is really good. But it wasn't until the Avengers came out that he became my favorite Marvel character flat out, like in the cinematic universe. I mean, I'm not even the biggest patriot, but Captain America is like, if that's what America really stood for, I'd be a prouder American. It's the ideals, but just the way he portrays it. He's not hokey. He's not overacting. Robert Downey Jr. is great, and he hams it up when need be, because that's what Tony Stark is. But Chris Evans is the grounded straight man to all the Robert Downey Jr. jokes in the Avengers, and it works perfectly. I mean, when he has his little lines like, there's only one God, ma'am, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like this, or when he goes in and just fights Thor and Iron Man, I mean, he just does it so believably. And then when you even get to the end of the movie where he thinks like all is lost, he's like, I could do this all day. He just epitomizes like the American spirit. But once we get into the Winter Soldier, that's where he really gets into the meat of the character, because he's a conflicted guy. Like, does he support, does he stick with the line and the straight and narrow? Does he, fight for what he believes for? And each movie that he's in, I think he gets better and better. Robert Downey Jr. peaked, and I think he's plateaued. Chris Hemsworth was great, but he's kind of plateaued. Everyone else is just plateaued. They're just the same. I think Chris Evans just continually goes up, and I think he's the real star of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I can't wait to see what he does in Civil War.
Okay. No, I mean, it's an interesting argument, especially for I know how big of a Spider-Man fan you are. Now, do you think if Spider-Man 3 was better, would that have affected you bringing up choosing Captain America over Spider-Man?
Oh, fuck yeah. Spider-Man 3 is not a good movie. But I'm looking at like the law of averages. Chris Evans has never put in a bad performance as Captain America. Tobey Maguire really didn't put in a bad performance as Spider-Man, but he was essentially the same. You know, he grew into the character by part 2, and then by part 3, he was kind of just whatever. But Chris Evans is just continually awesome. I don't know a more professional way to say it, but as I sit here and look at my Marvel Blu-rays that just happen to be out on my TV, I mean, he's the one that I'm like, oh yeah, Captain America, you're my fucking favorite.
Now, does Captain America: First Avenger not being one of the best MCU movies have an effect too? I mean, are you saying like that? Is it him shining through that movie, or is it just because it's right before Avengers that he looks so good in it?
Well, I don't really care too much about Captain America: The First Avenger. He's good in the beginning. I think that movie's really good in the beginning, and then once you get to the World War II stuff where it jumps around, you have a little bit of a problem. But I mean, when he's on that plane and he's fighting the Red Skull, and then he's gonna die. He thinks he's gonna die, and he crashes that plane into the Arctic and stuff. Like, that's some solid acting. I'm not saying it's Oscar worthy. I'm not saying he's Robert Downey Jr. A-list caliber, but that's like real acting, unlike a lot of these other people do. I mean, Jeremy Renner is just spouting off one-liners and being hokey, like, "Oh, you didn't see that coming," or he's like, "Oh, I'm a hawk. I see better from a distance." There just aren't hokey lines like that with Chris Evans.
I don't know about all that. I mean, he does have the comedy language line and all that.
Oh yeah, but that's funny. That's not like grating, where it's like, oh, that one just doesn't sit well and leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like, go with his performance in Winter Soldier. Like, right there, that's like true Captain.
And that's what I'm thinking. It feels like Winter Soldier is the movie that, the singular movie that's propelling him. I think that, obviously, I just, don't get me wrong. For the sake of the conversation, I love Chris Evans as Captain America, but I just think that, Winter Soldier was just so well put together that I think it kind of bolstered his legend a little bit more than need be. Because I mean, every note in Winter Soldier hits. It's not just Chris Evans' portrayal as Captain America, but I just think that it helped a lot that he had, was it not the Coen brothers, whatever their names are, the dudes that wrote.
Russo brothers.
Thank you. The Russo brothers that wrote it, and everything was great in that movie, and he just happened to be the dude who the movie's named after.
Oh, I think you're taking a little too much away from him. I think in the first Avengers movie is where he really started to shine. I'm trying to think back, because it's been a few weeks since I watched it, which is not that long. But still, I think he shined there. A lot of the beginning of the movie was about him being like taken out of retirement and thrust into the world. He's our eyes into this huge shield helicarrier, and it's really interesting to see how he has to adapt to a modern world, because that was the first time we ever saw that. At the end of Captain America, he's frozen and he wakes up, and that's it. In the Avengers, it's the first time really where he wakes up. So it's almost his story, even up until they fight on the helicarrier, and he's like, "Oh, I bet you'll see some things you've never seen before." And he's like, "I'll bet you $10 or whatever," and he pays Fury the $10. It's just, he's us, and I relate to that.
No, I mean, I could definitely see that.
Dan, what do you think? All right, Dan's sleeping. I think Chris Evans is only going to get better in Civil War. I think this is going to be his biggest movie. I hope he doesn't get killed off.
No, I mean, if it is, it's going to be, one of those, oh, he's back for Infinity Wars. I damn near bet the life of my child on the fact that if he is killed, it's not like the end of Captain America.
No.
I think they're not going to go for that route. I mean, they may go with, the whole fractured team aspect, but I mean, no, and like I said, I definitely don't think he's going to shine. I think it's essentially him and Robert Downey Jr.'s movie. I think that they're going to be, it's and again, it's a lot easier to portray the hero than it is the villain, and I do think that Iron Man's going to become the villainous role, the anti-hero role, and I'm really excited to see Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark take that on. And I mean, yeah, I mean the two of them, it's going to be a truer test for Chris Evans and Ryan Downey Jr. than anybody else in the movie.
Well, we will see in like a month.
Yep.
And I can't wait. We will have a review of that relatively soon to its release. I guess I'm gonna go see it that Thursday. Dion, will that be a possibility for you?
Oh yeah, I mean I should be able to get out and go see it because it's gonna probably come that midnight, right? So I should be able to see it.
Oh, do you only get midnight releases?
It depends on the movie. I have to look and see because usually the only theater that shows early is NCG, and I think Bistro does. So I'd have to look into it and get back so I can be here for when we review it.
All right, cool. Because I'd really like to have an episode with you on it to hear what you think, and then we can judge Chris Evans' portrayal in this film.
For sure.
Well, speaking of superheroes and comic book movies in general, now we're going to talk about the meat and potatoes of the show, the failure / aftermath of Batman vs. Superman.
Meat.
Rotten meat, spoiled meat.
Potatoes.
The last few weeks have been just filled with speculation about, is Zack Snyder going to get fired? Are we going to even see a Justice League film? What question I want to pose to you guys is, where do you think the DCEU goes? Does it stay on the same trajectory as it's on now, or do they make tweaks and changes, or is there going to be a massive overhaul?
I don't think it's going to be a massive overall. I think they may make tweaks and changes, but at this point, they've put all their eggs in this basket. I think that, like I said before, even though it's dropped, like, was it 69% viewership has dropped since opening weekend?
80.
Is it 80? Yeah. I mean, even despite that, the fact that it had such a huge opening, fucking Warner Brothers isn't going to learn. I mean, they're just not going to learn. I mean, for some reason, Zack Snyder is obsessed with making this a Watchmen copy, and I wouldn't say that he gets fired. I do think that the studio may get more involved and kick him over to being executive producer or something. But I don't think he gets fired. But Warner Brothers isn't going to learn anything. They're going to use the opening weekend as a foray into if we just shove something out with Justice League on it and live people in it, we're gonna make a fuck ton of money and then we'll be able to catch up to Marvel. And I think that they're going to fall flat on their face with Justice League. I really do. I mean, they're not gonna learn jack shit.
Hey Dan, what do you think?
I don't think they're gonna change a fucking thing.
Now here's a question, because here's my point. I think they'll make a lot of tweaks that we'll never hear about, because there's these Suicide Squad reshoots. And you're now your average DC fan, oh my god, every movie has reshoots, every movie this, every movie that. Yeah, that's true, a lot of movies do have reshoots, but the word on the street is that these reshoots are to add more humor elements, because, again, word on the street is that all the funny elements of the Suicide Squad were in the trailer, and everything else in the film is just a really dark, twisted film. And I guess that works to a degree, but at the same time, there has to be levity in everything. And so now what I want to ask you guys is, what do you want to change about the DCEU?
Stop making it fucking Watchmen. Like I think we're now nearing the era of Zack Snyder's career where maybe Watchmen was kind of the diamond in the rough out of all these really, he's not that great of a fucking artist as everyone thought that he was, especially after Man of Steel. And I think that I want to see, not a carbon copy of the Justice League cartoon, but I want to see a fucking Superman that's not so into fucking decisive. I want to see a Superman, if he's going to be the Boy Scout, make him the sure Boy Scout. Even because the actors aren't the problem. I think the actors are bringing it. I think Henry Cavill is a great Superman. I mean, he, especially when he was in Immortals, he can be that character that is sure of himself. And no matter what you say about Superman, I don't like Superman that much, but the guy is sure of himself. Even after all the changes, the character is fucking sure of himself. I want to see, if you're gonna tell a Batman story, it doesn't have to be Chris Nolan's Batman, but I don't want to see him dreaming about fucking having to fight Superman. Don't try and sprinkle in, oh well, maybe this is Flashpoint, and then take it away immediately. Just let Ben Affleck be fucking Batman. Stop trying to make it into this fucking Watchmen like, oh, what's it to be a fucking hero bullshit. Just make a fucking comic book movie. Make your comic book movie. You got the characters, just do it.
I agree with everything you just said, and I wanted to bring up another point that I actually heard today. I thought it was interesting. So, apparently Zack Snyder wants to make this movie called The Fountainhead, which is an Ayn Rand. You've heard Ayn Rand, right?
Yep.
That old twat that all these Republicans follow. Anyway,
yeah.
The thing I read essentially posed that Zack Snyder is an objectivist, but Superman is the epitome of altruism, and that Zack Snyder cannot comprehend what Superman truly is due to his political or ideological views in life. Mm-hmm. Do you think, from what I just said, that is true, like about his version of Superman? That he's so focused on what benefits me and not how Superman benefits society, which is the idea of his character?
I mean, that's a good question. I don't think that it's 100%. I think that that's definitely part of it. I think it's more Zack Snyder trying to. I think that he thinks that comic book fans want to see the inner struggles of Superman. And he wants to see that. He wants to see it. He thinks that, where comic fans are, where movie fans are, not just comic book fans, but movie fans in general, we all want to see multi-layered characters. We want to see them struggle with their decisions. We want to see them try to be the superhero, fail sometimes, but in the end, they've got hearts of gold. And I think that that's the problem. I think that you can do that with an action film. You can do that with a Die Hard. You can do that with thrillers. You can do that. But Superman is comic books. He's the guy who is, sure, he was a fish out of water essentially, but the guy was sure of right and wrong. He didn't, Superman wouldn't have been like, well, maybe I might have to kill Batman. No, he would never have done that. He would have said, hey, I think you're a hero. Help me save my mom. Or he would have, like I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and try to find my mom. He's not this indecisive emo kid who is struggling with the weight of being the most powerful person on earth. I don't think no one wants to see that, but Zack Snyder's convinced that we do.
And I think he's the wrong man to direct these films.
I agree. I agree. He fucked it up with Man of Steel.
Yeah, I've watched that movie one time. I will never, and I'm not angry about the movie. It's just so forgettable that I will never go back and watch it. I don't even think it's the worst Superman movie. The worst Superman movie, in my opinion, has to be Superman Returns, because I've never fully seen Quest for Peace.
I think after seeing Quest for Peace, that'll change your opinion.
I do get a little nostalgic for Christopher Reeve, because that dude was Superman. I didn't even grow up really with him as Superman. I grew up with Dean Cain and what's that guy's name? Tim Daly, the voice of Superman, the animated one. That's what I think of as Superman. But Christopher Reeve Superman's supposed to be this like shining, idealistic, perfect Superman who is, out for the good of all mankind in society and doesn't cause more problems than he solves. Zack Snyder's Superman, and I'm going to call it that because I don't really think it's the real Superman, just causes so many problems. And I think it actually stems earlier from DC's editorial with the New 52. I don't know if you've read a lot of that stuff, but for a while, Superman's wearing jeans and a Superman t-shirt and a cape, and he's not Superman. I don't know why DC and Warner Brothers are so afraid to give us a true version of Superman. They gave us a great version of Batman. They've given us, you can't really truly judge Wonder Woman. I think her performance was a little stiff and kind of lame in parts, but either way, she looked good. I can't really shit on her yet because I haven't seen enough. But why Superman, who used to be their flagship character, why cannot he be true to the character's source material?
Well, and I think you just inadvertently hit the nail on the head, man. I think that everything that we've gone through, not just with Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, but even with the New 52, is they're trying to get away from Christopher Reeve's Superman. I think that he was Superman. I think his portrayal of Superman affected Tim Daly's. I think that portrayal of Superman is what made the Justice League cartoon and the original Superman not the original Superman cartoon, but the Superman cartoon from the 90s and the early thousands so great, was that Christopher Reeve he made you think like, dude, this guy could take on anything. He can take on anything and he will find a way to win. The cartoon character, Tim Daly's voice was, I'm Superman, I can take it. That was a lot of the plot points in the cartoon is I'm Superman, I can fucking take it. And for some reason, I don't know if it's like the guy who follows the star quarterback. The guy before you did all this great shit, and you want to create your own legacy. And I think that Zack Snyder and the Warner Brothers right now, and DC in general, with the New 52, want their own golden age. And I think that that's the problem. Instead of being a true set of artists, they want to be the heroes. They want to be like, hey, we made a great Superman. You guys loved it. This is something that's going to stand the test of time with our name on it. And I think that's the problem.
Not to not pay attention to you, but just out of curiosity, I looked up the new Superman DC reboot called DC Rebirth.
Yeah.
And just when we thought Superman couldn't get any dumber, he did today. Excuse me, he did yesterday. Would you like to tell me why?
I think you should tell me why.
Would you like me to tell you why? Excuse me. Yeah. So, ever since DC unveiled its lineup for Rebirth, we've had some questions about why the classic Superman of old DC will replace the new 52 Superman in the comics. Well, today's Superman 51 has the answers, and things aren't looking good. So, apparently on the first page, Superman is dying. And I'm not choking because I'm sad. I'm choking because I ate some cashews. But it's not a trick or a cliffhanger. It kicks off a new chapter in Superman. The last 9 months have ravaged his body, and he's giving up for good. And Clark Kent's not upset. So basically, they're killing off New 52 Superman, and then he becomes a fucking ball of energy.
What?
Yeah. There's a picture of it, which I will send you right now. Why can't DC stop fucking up?
I just think that's what it is, man. They want their, they want their own. Oh God damn it, that's so fucking stupid. They want their own version of Superman to be the good one, and
they had a good version of Superman.
I agree, but they instead of coming up with better challenges for that Superman, they want we'll just make a new Superman and make him more vulnerable or whatever. And it's just I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's really weird. It's really weird.
In the 80s they did it with John Byrne. They depowered him and made Superman awesome. The 90s cartoon, he wasn't too powerful. He could be killed. Superman has to have there has to be stakes in any character, or with any character. Invulnerability is not, it's a cool power fantasy, but it doesn't translate well to stories.
Right.
Now, back to the film before we change topics, is there anything you think you could do with the material that's there to make this a better film?
So if we're taking the helm, we have to salvage the franchise post Batman, Superman, and Man of Steel and all that. No,
you actually have to salvage Batman v Superman.
Like if we're redoing the movie?
No. What you have to do is you're basically an editor. You have, and let's say there's some hypothetical secret footage that you can splice into this film to make it better and cut out other things that are in the theatrical cut. To streamline this film, what do you do? Is there anything specific that you can think of off the top of your head that you go, oh, I want to change this?
Yeah, I'd get rid of the whole dream sequence when he sees Flash trying to talk to him and he's, in the desert trying to buy kryptonite. I'd get rid of that, and I'd make the fight longer. I'd make it to where it was, I think that the fight started off well enough. And I think that I'd just make that longer. I'd make it more of, Batman beating the shit out of him. And I'd put a little bit more Alfred in there trying to talk to him like, hey, he's not the problem. He's not the enemy. He's not the enemy. And then, I would shave a little bit of,
Gal Gadot.
Eisenberg out of it too. And yeah, and I think I'd keep Wonder Woman out of it too. I would just make it just Batman, Superman, and get rid of.
I didn't mean like actually cut her out of the film. You said shave. I was making a joke, but anyway.
No, yeah, that was good. Yeah.
It was so good you forgot to laugh, right? We are so tired. Let's just tell the listeners, we went to WrestleMania this past week, and we were up for essentially a week straight. And the last day of our trip sucked ass because shitty-ass Spirit Airlines would not honor our tickets and let us on the plane. So we had to fuck around Dallas for, 6 hours? Then we got on a flight. Then we flew to Utah because we were going from Texas to Cleveland. We fucking flew to Utah. Then from Utah to Michigan. And then Michigan, Dion and Hillary drove us to Cleveland. And then Dan and I drove from Cleveland to Cincinnati. And I was essentially up from 5 a.m. Monday morning until 9 p.m. Tuesday night. So I am still fucking out of it. So if World Class Bullshitters lacks its usual zesty pep that you're so used to, we apologize, but we are just so fucking tired.
Yeah.
Well, also, it doesn't help for me because I have to prepare to get a root canal tomorrow.
Oh, dude, you know how you should have prepared?
How?
Got shit-faced drunk.
I did that all week.
Well, you didn't have to stop. That's the one thing I miss the most. Today I was downstairs doing something, and I thought, man, a week ago we were on our way to WrestleMania. It was a lot of... Wait, no, a week ago we were already there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we left Wednesday.
Shit. Wednesday, Thursday, because it all blended together. And we got a fucking Prius as a rental car. Man, we were the most douchey-looking Texans ever.
Which is hard to do.
Yeah, we were rolling around in a fucking Prius wearing Nintendo shirts and Dragon Ball shirts and fucking, wrestling shirts and wearing Hulk Hogan headbands and dumb shit like that.
People still can't believe that we all fit in the Prius when I tell them we got a Prius.
Yeah, it happened. Actually, it was a pretty comfortable ride. I'm not going to complain too much. When I was driving it, I didn't have too many complaints about my comfort, but the car was a piece of shit.
And we only spent like $11 on gas, so
that was the highlight of that car. Just hey, but it didn't help that we paid $60 fucking to park at the arena.
Oh my god! And the fucked up thing was there was a lot further away that was fucking $75
and $100.
Yeah, like god damn.
Well,
fuck you, Terry Jones.
Shh. I have okay, since eventually this channel is going to have a show called Ring Rust, which means we'll eventually have some wrestling fans that listen to our channel. Overall, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, give me your scores for WrestleMania and why.
I'm gonna go with 5. I think that it was overall a decent show. There's a good amount of average amount of payoff. I think the thing that kills it obviously was fucking Snoop Dogg and the fact that the main event was so boring and this obsession with Roman Reigns and pushing Roman Reigns and making Roman Reigns some type of weird hybrid of Triple H and John Cena, and the match was boring. Roman Reigns is not the guy. He's not that good yet. And for the whole show, despite a great ladder match, even though Bret Hart apparently fucking hated it, I think that despite the fucking Divas belt finally being eradicated, despite, I guess a decent Brock Lesnar match, despite an entertaining Hell in a Cell, you had this main event that was fucking boring. And apparently Dave Meltzer gave it 4 stars. So that's part of why I only gave it 5, but that was what killed it for me, was a boring main event. We should have had a better match for a world title.
Damn.
It gets a 5 for me also. The main event was boring as shit, and I'm not going to give the ladder match any more credit because Zack Ryder lost the Intercontinental title the next night on Raw.
Fuck. Completely off topic, I just got a notification on Facebook from Tears for Fears that said they're going to be by me. So
They will.
I think we should go, Dan.
They will be by you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go here. Everybody wants to rule the world live, but
In person.
in person. I'm gonna give the show also a 5 out of 10. I wanted to give it a 6 because I was pumped to see The Rock, and anytime The Rock performs and wins, it's always a highlight. But this show was just too long for the first. First of all, it was fucking okay. We got in there at what'd you say, 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock Dallas time,
Yeah.
and we left at 11 o'clock, so we were there for 7 hours.
Yeah.
That was 7 hours of dealing with that fucking drunk lady behind us. That was 7 hours of fucking, just oh my god, I had a great time there. I'm not trying to sound ungrateful. I had more fun there than I think I did last year at WrestleMania because I liked the ending of WrestleMania last year a lot. But overall, we were cracking up. We were having just a good time. I lost my fucking voice. That doesn't happen unless it's a really good show.
Right.
WWE's just fucking up, man. I didn't watch Raw because obviously I was stuck in transit with you guys.
Yeah.
I didn't even look up any Raw results. I don't know what's going on. I don't care. I just don't give a fuck about wrestling until next WrestleMania.
And obviously Dan's, he's got the majority of the knowledge on wrestling, but it's just they have good people, but they don't want to invest in them, and then the people that they invest in, i.e. John Cena, Roman Reigns, they put all their eggs in that basket and then expect this fucking huge payoff when it's just like it's so boring. And this is my issue for all the Roman Reigns, and if you're a Roman Reigns fan, you're probably going to be a John Cena fan.
And get off of our channel.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. But the issue, and I'm going to explain to you guys in the simplest terms that I can. Dan, Jeff, feel free to agree or disagree. The problem with John Cena, the problem with a guy like Roman Reigns, when if they win, for some unexplainable reason they win, i.e. John Cena getting title shots, being a 15-time world champion, literally being given number one contender shots for no reason, and for guys like Roman Reigns who, outside of being in the Shield and being helped by The Rock or Dean Ambrose, didn't earn anything, you take away you take away the surprise, you take away the X factor of anything might happen. And wrestling is already, it's tough to do. And that's what made the Attitude Era, that's what made the early thousands so great, that you didn't know what was going to happen. But when you already know that John Cena's going to win, when you already know that Roman Reigns is going to win, it's not good for the product. You take away the what ifs. You take away the shit that you didn't see coming. When you already know who's going to win, you lose interest. We don't want to see Roman Reigns go to face Triple H, who can't put on an amazing match anymore, when we know that he's going to beat him and go to Raw and be the same boring mother. He's not going to wake up and become the next fucking Rock. He's not going to be able to become this dude who makes you want to fucking watch him that he might lose. It's not going to fucking happen overnight. And that's the problem with guys like John Cena and Roman Reigns.
I'm with you 100% there, man. I was actually going to use WrestleMania as this week's train wreck of the week because, it's just okay. It did suck in points. But I found one way better. So would you guys like to hear the train wreck of the week?
Hell yeah.
All right. Penis ring sparks bomb alert in German casino. Yeah, your face says it all. The vibrating sex toy led to evacuations and street closures. This comes from Ron Dicker. The gambling hall wasn't taking any chances. An employee in Spielotech casino in Halberstadt, Germany, heard ticking and humming noises from the men's bathroom trash bin Tuesday and called the police. The local in Germany reported. Cops evacuated dozens from the casino and adjacent shops, blocked off the street, and called in the bomb squad. The bomb squad eventually found something not so explosive in the trash, a penis ring that was still vibrating. An official told German publication Volkstime that the department had to react on the safe side. As the battery-powered sex toy that caused all the panic, no one knows how it got there. This is something that I have never seen in my 36 years on the force. It just tops everything, said the chief superintendent. This is not the only response. This isn't the only emergency response to penis activity in Germany as of late. In March, firefighters had to remove several rings from a fetishist in Munich. Ooh. Germany's a weird place.
They never fucking recovered from the war, man.
They became sex nuts and retard strong.
You can blame us for that.
Hey, Anne Hathaway had a baby boy.
Hey, I don't care.
Here's the joke. It's the most unlikable baby in history. Her husband looks like a douchier James Cameron, and that's pretty hard to do because James Cameron looks pretty douchey.
And he is pretty douchey.
Who is more unlikable, Dion? Anne Hathaway or Kim Kardashian? Yeah, Kim Kardashian. Pretty much all she eats.
I think your hybrid that you created, Anne Hash.
And Hathaway.
She might be more unlikable. But if I had to choose between the two and not the hybrid creature of the night, I wanted to say Kim K because she's just like outside of there was a point where her stupidity was being dwarfed by her attractiveness, and now it's that stupidity is like the fucking symbiote, and it's taken over the host, and and that giant tongue is just sitting there waving out, and it's like, hey, I got a fucking iPad game, and Kanye West is my husband, Northwest for life, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Oh my god. Well, if only that was the case. Dan, who's more unlikable, Anne Hathaway or Kim Kardashian or Anne Heche?
Kim Kardashian, because she's not a fucking celebrity.
Anne Heche.
Anne Heche. That should be another t-shirt.
Anne Heche.
Anne Heche.
Anne Heche wins.
There's half of Anne Heche's face and Anne Hathaway's face. And the shirt just has Anne Heche on it.
Like 8 people will buy that shirt.
Hey, that is the best $8 we ever made.
Hey, I would thank every fan. And speaking of our fans, we got some nice fan mail to read. Not as much as usual, because I guess last week's episode did not resonate. So I guess we got to step up our game. People do not give a shit. People do not give a shit about the future of World Class Bullshitters. They only care about the present. So presently, I got some fan mail to read. So this comes from Stephen L. on YouTube, speaking of Batman vs. Superman. This movie was fucking awesome. Ben Affleck was the best part of the movie. I've never liked Superman, but I've been latched on to Batman since I was 8. This is the Batman I've always wanted to see. Lex Luthor, even though you meant to say Lex Luthor, sucked. He should have been tall, good-looking, bald, with all the confidence and arrogance in the world. A real ladies' man. That is set on world domination. Thank you, Steve L.
Ugh.
Dion, go ahead. What do you got to say about Steve L?
As much as I agree with you on the Lex Luthor part, if you think that Batman vs Superman is awesome, I've got a left hand, not for hand jobs, for specifically punching you in the dick.
I would love to watch that. Hey. This one comes from XX the King of You XX2. This is about our Ghostbusters video. This abomination of Ghostbusters looks like it's made for women who get mad at their man for enjoying the original whenever it comes on TV. I would agree with that.
I don't know how there's any American woman that could be upset with a dude for loving Ghostbusters. She needs to get the fuck out.
Yeah, well, just to show that prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown. Finally, well, not finally, we have one more. We have a big shout out to a huge new fan, but this is not a fan. This is a dick. This comes from Pink Rose. Let me guess, DeAndre is black. First off, Pink Rose, who is DeAndre? There's Dion, there's Dan, there's Dustin, Joel, and Phil, and Brian sometimes, and me. There is no DeAndre on the show. So if you're trying to make a joke about somebody, please at least get the goddamn name right.
I blame DeAndre.
You know, DeAndre's an asshole. I fucking hate that guy. I'm sorry, Pink Rose. You're right. Fuck DeAndre. Fuck him in his black hole.
But we're not going to fucking get too muffed up about someone whose fucking username is Pink Rose. What are you and Seal watching Batman Forever and fingering each other's assholes? What is
You are my rose, you are my rose.
It's like you're saying, hey babe, I gotta come up with a username. What's it gonna be? What do you mean, babe? I'm thinking Red Rose. No, that sounds like a fucking idiot. Pink Rose sounds a hell of a lot better. Yeah, I like Pink Rose. Pink Rose is what it is. That's what I'm Pink Rose now. Fuck you, DeAndre.
I'm Pink Rose, bitch.
Pink Rose, bitch.
I just had to point that out because that was just weird. Who the fuck's DeAndre?
I think he's trying to be like witty and racist, but it's like he wasn't the sharp kid in the class, and we don't blame him for that.
There's just one problem, Pink Rose. You're not any good. Not any good. But you know who is good? Our newest fan, Graham Hull. Now, Graham comes out of the UK, and he messaged us on our Facebook page, and he was a lot of fun to talk to. And I'm not going to read the whole conversation, but I'm just going to say what Graham said. He just listened to our podcast regarding Civil War and the Ghostbusters. He said he was pissing himself laughing in the UK. Over here, we would say this film looks like absolute fucking dog wank. They may have well called it anti-poltergeist slags. I reckon they have actually gone and shat on Harold Ramis's grave. Then after a little back and forth, he goes to show me a commercial out of the UK that has a random woman using a vacuum, and it's set to the Ghostbusters theme. Now, the misogynistic part of me wants to say that's what the women in Ghostbusters should be doing, but I'm not, because I'm not a dick.
Damn it, Dustin.
Right.
I'm saying this one for Dustin. But then he goes and tells us how he hates Melissa McCarthy. And I say she's a punchline in America. And I was drunk when we talked, so it just gets into more dumb shit. But Graham Hull, if you listen to this episode, you are awesome. I really appreciate all the messages you sent us. They were a lot of fucking fun. If you ever message us again, I'll probably be sober, and we'll have a more interesting discussion. But that is
Amen, Governor.
What'd you say?
I said amen, Governor. Amen.
And we also have a new like from a guy named Chris Murphy. Thank you, Chris Murphy. I guess I should check the Twitters because, I should.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we do in these parts there, bruh.
Apparently on April 4th, World Class Bullshitters tweeted out, "We're in Utah. Yay." But let me check.
Where was I at for that?
Mississippi.
Oh, shit.
You Billy Bob looking motherfucker.
I gotta say, we're taking over the hashtag WCBS. If you look up the second thing, we pop up. But searching the hashtag WCBS, we have from the News Diva. Anchor Dana Taylor has not been seen on air since early February. Okay. She might be missing.
Oh, fuck.
This comes from Publishing DP. Police. Suspect arrested in robbery of 103-year-old Bronx woman. Okay.
Well, hopefully she wasn't getting DP'd.
Hopefully, because that would be a gross thing to see.
It'd be soft.
And dusty.
Ooh.
This comes from a very intelligent post. My wallet can sleep soundly after seeing hashtag DC Rebirth. If only hashtag Batman v Superman could have been avoided. I wonder who wrote that. Oh, it comes from us at World Class Bullshitters.
I was going to say, that guy is funny.
Oh, yeah. He is a gentleman and a scholar and just all-around good guy.
I bet his name's DeAndre.
Yeah, DeAndre, you're my hero.
You're fucking witty, bruh.
Over on our mail.com email, we probably have nothing. I'm going to check anyway, because no one in the history of time except Tay Zonde from Chocolate Rain has emailed us using our mail.com, the best mail.
.com.
Ding.
Wait, I did not want to sign up for premium.
Yes, you do.
Hey.
I ain't pay. Account holder, world class BS. Like, that's really my fucking first name.
Dude, your first name is totally world class BS.
It's DeAndre.
God damn it.
Oh, so good.
Time to start over.
Yeah, let's re-record the show. Hello and welcome to World Class Bull.
Hello and welcome to World Class DeAndre.
I'm your host, DeAndre, and with me is DeAndre and DeAndre.
Hey, man, what's up, yo, DeAndre? Good to see you, man.
What's up, DeAndre? Damn, I'm the palest DeAndre you'll ever see.
Wow. Apparently, it's just a bunch of information from our Twitter. We got an email on 3/25/16 that says Happy Easter. So thank you, mail.com. We wish you a happy Easter as well.
You're the best. You're the best, mail.com.
Mm-hmm. And we got some new followers on Twitter, like Lori H at Pooh Bear with me, RF45, and Fighter Mesh. So Dion, good job at cultivating some more subscribers and followers on YouTube or on
I
Twitter.
gotta get my shit together and get back on it because I've been tired this week and I haven't been tweeting very much.
Dude, when we were out of town and not
Fighter
recording
Mesh.
shit for the show, we gained about 20 subscribers. Since we've been home, we gained 1. But
Note to self.
go out of town.
Let DeAndre run everything.
DeAndre, you are the president of the United States. You are Mr. President. Now go sing us some Coco Jumbo.
DeAndre Trump 2016.
Hell
We
yeah.
love you.
He's the real MVP, dog.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. Well, this is going to be a short episode of World Class Bullshitter, so let's put this baby to bed. Every Thursday night, we take a dump on the world of pop culture. You can follow us on Twitter at the World Class BS using the hashtag WCBS. You can find us on our Facebook page, World Class Bullshitters. Or you can contact us at worldclassbs@mail.com. The best mail.
.com.
Dang.
I've been your host, Jeff Hicks.
I am the man with the plan and the original tan, and unprotected sex is the way to go.
Agreed.
Dustin is probably staring at dicks right now, and that's why he's not here.
Well, DeAndre, you suck. Do you guys have anything else?
Fuck you, DeAndre.
Before we close this show out.
Dr. Phil wants everybody to remember to fuck him up the ass.
Really? See, the last I heard of it is
Wasn't that his catchphrase?
Yeah, fuck me in the ass. Right in the ass.
I thought that's what he said every week.
I have to quote him. I'll have to go back and look at that, but I'm pretty sure you're 100% correct. Because, you know.
That's
sounds
what
right.
I remember. I specifically remember that heavy labored breathing of, it's Dr. Phil, fuck me in my ass.
He's breathing heavy because his foot fell off.
Oh, you sure it wasn't the dick in the brown poop chute?
Dick in the brown poop chute as opposed to the blue poop chute?
Yeah.
Fucking poop ass dicks in the poop chute.
Ugh. You know, to each his own, but that is not an attractive thought. Ugh.
It's Dr. Phil, fuck me in my ass.
You sound like that guy that got plowed by the horse.
You like that? You like
And at the
that?
end of the day,
At the end of the day, we do not support bestiality. See,
At the
now,
end of the day, we might.
when you brought up Dr. Phil, I thought he had lost his medical license for, being stupid and providing underage kids with
that's
drugs.
right. He's now sad Phil.
Yeah.
Nah,
He's now sad Phil that stands on the corner and asks people, "Hey, please fuck me in the ass."
No, he's Uncle Phil. He's your creepy uncle. He'll get you drunk and make you fuck him in the ass. Come here, boy. Come here, boy.
How old are you? 13, 18, huh?
You see what happens when the other bullshitters don't show up and we need to fill up a 90-minute time slot? We
You
just
fuck
evolve into making
around.
fun of people.
Oh my god.
People, we made fun of one person.
Okay, let's make fun of Joel. Well, that's an easy target.
That's
Yeah.
not fair. He wouldn't
Well.
hear it anyway.
Neither will Phil. Phil has no clue we're switching the format of the show.
No, I mean Joel wouldn't hear it because he's too old. He's gone deaf.
Oh, okay.
Either
Well,
that or you're too busy fucking an Asian ladyboy in the ass. A lot of ass fucking going on in this show.
No, the Asian ladyboy's sticking it in his ear. That's why he can't hear anything.
do I need to just change the title of this episode to Butt Fucking and Other Sundries World Class Bullshitters episode 21?
That might be the greatest YouTube video of all time. Butt fucking and other pleasantries. Brought to you by World Class Bullshit.
I would have to put the word Star Wars in there so somebody would watch this video. Star Wars, Butt Fucking and Other Sundries.
I can't wait to see the image for this one.
I actually have the image already created.
Oh god.
Dion, do you know what a sundry is?
I have no fucking idea what this is.
I knew it was the proper usage of the word, but I just wanted to make sure. Various items not important enough to be mentioned individually. So the rest of the guys are just
So
the
Phil.
sundry. Oh,
Dustin's hemorrhoids.
can we not focus on someone's butthole for the rest of this show?
Shit.
I can't promise that. I can't promise that.
We have to film about 5 more minutes, and
Missing half the cast, but I got one alone, and I'm gonna eat it last.
oh snap! Yes, Lord.
Oh shit!
I've been so tired that I haven't even been able to laugh these last couple of days.
You're welcome.
18.
I fixed you.
You fixed me?
I fixed you. You laughed so hard just because of Phil being a fucking pervert, asking 13-year-olds to fuck him in the butthole. So
I think it's very funny that Dustin was scared shitless that someone's going to come to his house because he's going to probably shoot up a 7-Eleven. But then for us to go from that to Phil getting fucked in the ass by 13-year-olds is
well,
just...
You know what? At
What?
the end of the day,
You son
Dustin
of a-
should be terrified because the FBI is watching him.
So did they write that song about somebody's watching me? Is that about Dustin?
That song was
Yeah.
written blank years ago, and it's about Dustin now.
It's 32 years old. Dustin is 27 years old. But when Rockwell, a random black dude from Detroit, was like, I'm going to write it about a guy named Dustin that's going to be born in Michigan in 5 years. Well, fuck with him.
Well,
You know
plus
what
I think that he...
Rockwell's
That's
first
why,
name was
Michael
DeAndre.
Jackson did the vocals for it.
What'd you say, Dion?
That's why Michael Jackson did the vocals for it, because it just fits Dustin's life so perfectly.
Because he's a pervert too.
Justin and...
Because he's a pervert too.
Right.
Like, dicks.
Jesus Christ! This is going to be the best episode to flip the switch. We went from dead to alive. You're coming with me, Dion.
Did we, Doc? We went from dead to alive, bruh.
Brett,
Dude.
there's so much butt stuff jokes. Do you have
Fucking
any?
zombies.
What about zombies?
We're dead, now we're alive? We're fucking zombies right now.
I would never fuck a zombie.
Why not? I mean, me neither.
Good man.
That reminds me of that deleted scene in Dawn of the Dead where it's the two dudes in the basement and they have the fucking zombie chick in her underwear and they put a fucking football helmet on her head and the guy's just like, yeah, go fuck her, dude. Just go over there. Go over there and fuck her, man. Go over there. So he goes over there and it just fucking attacks the shit out of him and starts fucking ripping his throat out. And I just feel like that's what would happen if World Class Bullshitters just became fucking zombies. Just 5 perverted ass zombies walking around with hard-on hemorrhoids.
With football helmets?
With football helmets on. Just real shit show.
See, I would like... You were bringing up the worst parts of World Class Bullshitters. I would like for there to be like a Voltron / Megazord-esque combination of all the best and worst features of us. How would that look? So obviously it'd be Dustin's hemorrhoids and Brian's beard. And it would be missing a foot like Phil. It would be as tall as I am. It would have Dion's haircut and Dan's beard.
No. Brian's beard.
Oh yeah, you already said Brian's beard. Sorry. Dan's lungs.
I was about to say, Dan's propensity
There you
to
go.
not breathe.
I have Joel's wisdom.
Fuck.
What else?
You were gonna say Joel's dick, but he ain't got one.
Bird. I wasn't even going to mention a cock. But whatever.
Cack.
Well, I guess since we always cover pop culture, we should talk about the biggest event happening currently. In 1 minute, American Idol ends forever.
Thank fucking God.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's 9:59 p.m. American Idol's on its final episode. It ends tonight at 10 o'clock.
Goodbye.
That's right now. I'm going to turn it on to see if I can see Ryan Seacrest crying.
Does anybody know how to play taps?
That was hard.
Hey, moment of silence. That's disrespectful.
That is almost as violent as me taking a shit in a bag. That was almost as
I feel like- yeah, when I die, that's how I want to go out. I want them to play taps and then
merge into.
and then cut into the fucking Star Wars Force theme. And I want to be slowly lowered into the ground with fireworks and a performance by Europe. Well, I'm gonna outlive Europe. Sorry.
And it'll be fucking Phil with, instead of a hand missing, it'll be his foot, and he'll be putting his arm around fucking Brian's old lady, and then
if Phil and Brian outlive me, something's wrong.
But also, as you're being lowered into the ground, it'll be Dan and I in the Millennium Falcon, and I'll just be randomly wearing your clothes. we'll drive off.
So what you're saying is I didn't die. I'm just frozen in carbonite somewhere.
You're frozen in carbonite, and we have to save you in 4 years.
It's only.
Hey, bro, I'm not saying anything particular, bro. I'm not stealing any copyright, bro. I'm just saying hypothetically, bro.
Oh my God, who's gonna win American Idol? The white guy won. Okay.
What the fuck's an aluminum falcon?
Why are you so sad about
It's
that?
over! Finally!
Did you turn it on, Dan?
No?
Okay, good.
I've never watched one episode of American Idol.
I watched the very first episode, and I just saw the last episode.
And now that American Idol's over, that means America no longer has talent. Good job, America!
Wait, isn't there a show called America Has Talent?
I
No!
don't think it's on anymore. That's over.
But there was a show, correct?
See, America no longer has talent. Good job,
Hosted by
America.
David Hasselhoff, and the host is Nick Cannon. So
Good lord, could they find two people with less talent?
Yes. Mariah Carey and
The guy
Rodney Dangerfield, because he's dead.
I like Rodney Dangerfield, dude.
I did too, but he's dead.
Yeah, but his dead body has more talent than Nick Cannon.
Okay, that's true. Nick Cannon is garbage.
He's literally the worst thing ever.
He's like Kmart and what's another shitty store?
Walmart.
The best thing Nick Cannon does is Mariah Carey.
Oh,
Not even more. He fucked that up.
I think she did it because she's a fucking psycho.
Yeah, I can see that. But
And Nick Cannon ain't gonna get no better.
There's no dumb black motherfucker dumber than Nick Cannon, and he's the luckiest dumb motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
Motherfucker dumber. I don't know. Cat Williams lost a fight to a third grader.
That's a close second, but at least Cat Williams is funny sometimes.
When
When he loses a fight to a third grader. See? Makes you laugh. So
a
there
third
you go.
grader who was taller than him.
Motherfucker, everybody's taller than him.
That ain't the point. Oh yeah.
That ain't the point. Oh yeah.
he's looking at the booty shot I sent to the chat.
I know. I looked at it too. I just love the transition. Oh yeah.
What do you guys think of Charlize Theron playing a character in Fast and Furious 8?
She better be a guy.
She better be Furiosa. That's all I give a shit about.
I have a problem that there's another Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah. After Paul Walker crashed and burned, so should the franchise.
They should have killed him in
Am I the only one that had a problem with his face before they drove their separate ways?
Nope.
You mean his brother's face?
The CGI'd eyeballs?
It was fucking, his eyes are huge, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you, Vin Diesel.
He did, emotionally.
He was like, I fucked this movie up. You're welcome.
You could say it hit a tree on the way out.
Oh, burn. He died like Ryan Dunn, and he's also done.
You know what the difference is? I still respect Ryan Dunn.
Have you seen Bam Margera lately?
No, because he
Shit.
fucking looks like crap.
He looks like Don Vito.
Ooh, he's dead too.
He's about to be.
Well, I really don't care too much about
I don't
those
know.
guys.
Vito's dead.
I know that. I was the one who did it.
Molesting piece of shit.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't. You know, I'm not involved. I've never met Don Vito. Okay, I'm just gonna say that I've never met Don Vito.
Vito.
Well, I think we've hit our time quota. Not really, but close enough. Do you guys have anything else you want to add before I wrap it up with a rant about people's ugly children?
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
I'm world-class bullshitters?
All of them? Well, you're picking up the slack for Brian and Phil. And
Good lord. Good luck picking up all that slack.
yeah, you found the picture of Bam Margera. I almost feel sorry for him, but I don't.
But he fucked Jessica Simpson once, so no.
But it was a good one. I love the background. Steak sandwiches. Grilled steak. Oh Only broiled steak sandwiches.
God damn it. I would like a steak sandwich.
I could eat again.
I can always eat.
That's true, you can, Dan. You can always eat. I gotta tell you, make a confession to you guys. I saw a clip from the new Suicide Squad movie, and I think my favorite character is going to be Jai Courtney.
Oh, easy.
All right, well, as we've said like 18,000 times, we are world-class bullshitters. This is a podcast that you're currently listening to, and you will only be listening to for another 30 seconds before we say goodnight. So, gentlemen, say goodnight.
Gentlemen.
Good night, gentlemen. Say words. Macho? Man? Savage?
Oh.
Yeah!
And thanks to all our listeners. We will be back next week with guaranteed to be a better episode that won't crash and burn at the end. This is the Hindenburg.
Dude, the end of this episode was beautiful.
I don't even remember. Dude, I am so tired right now. I don't even remember most of what we've talked about tonight. Like, I haven't had a single drink. I'm fucking exhausted. Did we talk about porn yet?
Dude, maybe you should sniff some of this cocaine. It'll wake you up.
Maybe that would help. Oh, I love tacking shit on at the last minute. This Sunday, you can probably expect a review of Hardcore Henry. So, that's a bonus.
That's right. We're going to go watch Hardcore Holly. It'll be a great movie.
Call of Duty the movie, 2016. Die Hard 3, amazing movie.
God, no.
You know what? I think I should just stop recording at this point.
No, this is beautiful.
No, just keep it on.
Okay. It's such a short episode, too. It's only an hour and 31 minutes.
It's nothing. We can say stupid shit for another hour.
I would be impressed if we actually had another hour.
I'm done.
of content.
Don't we normally?
We do normally have another hour. Hey, Dan, are you nervous about tomorrow?
No.
You should be.
No.
It's going to hurt.
I don't care. I like pain.
Really?
Kind of.
Well, there's a difference.
Plus, I don't go to work, so, fucking bonus.
You know you have a shit job when you'd rather get a root canal than go to work.
I would much rather get a root canal than get paid to go to work.
I almost can guarantee tomorrow you'll go, I want to be at work, I want to be at work, I want to be at work.
Nope.
Dion, would you rather go to work or have a root canal?
I think I'd rather get fucking butt sex than have a root canal.
Now, you mean you would get plugged in the butt, or you would plug Hillary?
I would say, hey, Hillary, go grab that strap on. If I will take it if you don't let me go to this goddamn root canal.
Are we doing it?
Yeah, Hillary, go get the strap on. Let's go.
I've always wanted to go into your bedroom, but I'm afraid that I'm going to find something that's going to change our friendship. Like a strap-on, or a ball gag.
You'd walk in and the fucking gimp's laying at the foot of the bed.
Or another guy.
Yeah, I would just be like, you know what, Dion, we've been friends for 8 years. It's a good run. I'll see you later.
See you at WrestleMania, buddy.
I'm gonna let this crippled guy in leather get the fuck out of here.
The fact that you're banging a crippled guy is what.
Why's he got to be crippled, bro?
I can't get away.
Oh, are you raping Stephen Hawking?
You put a chain on some shit on there, they won't get away no matter what.
Well, I'm
you
just
speak
saying.
from experience.
Well, I got a few people in the basement. They don't get sex, they get